Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm back. If you don't know me, my name's Keith. I cover everything Black Quarterback series, everything Black Quarterback, and I'm just gonna be covering the draft. My main objective is to cover all the Black quarterbacks, but I'm gonna cover all the picks that are relevant to us and some of the other quarterbacks and stuff that I found pretty interesting. So sit back and enjoy, and let's get it.
You're fighting against the black quarterback situation, and then you've got people telling you, your friends, saying that you can't make it. It just shows that some of the stigmas that have been against us for so many years are showing that they were just stigmas. You're like, a black quarterback can never make it in college or professional. Everything is opening up now.
It's not just that black quarterbacks are guys. What you have now is franchise elite passers.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.
So obviously we're gonna start with the first pick. Trevor Lawrence, he went to Jacksonville. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. There's nothing I really say there. Zach Wilson, who I think is going to be a bust. He went to the Jets. We have been talking about that for months, so that's not really a major thing either. I don't think it'd be much any good. They showed a stat on the draft coverage on ESPN. Where they've drafted Chad Pennington, who was it? It was Chad Pennington, Mark Sanchez, Sam Darnold, and now they drafted Zach Wilson. So to me, it's just like they've drafted the same quarterback 4 times. So it remains to be seen what Zach Wilson can do. And this is where the draft really got started. So Trey Lance is picked number 3 and goes to probably the best situation out of all the young quarterbacks. Other than the other one we're going to get to later. He goes to the 49ers, right? He gets to sit behind Jimmy G and learn and also be put in the best position. Put in the best position as far as quarterback and play calling of the 5 picks. Didn't think Trey Lance was going to go that high. I just didn't think Trey Lance was going to go that high. I thought they was going to go with Mac Jones. Completely blew me. I had no idea they was gonna go with Trey Lance. It was rumors that they were gonna go to Trey Lance, and they were split on who they're gonna go. Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and I'm just surprised. And so the next pick, Kyle Pitts goes to Atlanta. So he goes to Atlanta, which means they're buying all the way in Matt Ryan. They're going to try to make these last couple of years of Matt Ryan work. Can't really be mad at him, but I think I would win with Justin Fields. He just let Matt Ryan's contract play out. And then when his contract is out, you let him walk, and now you got the next guy for the next decade. So Cincinnati drafted Jamar Chase, and I just do not like that pick at all. You have a future Pro Bowl quarterback, possibly a future MVP quarterback, and Joe Burrow behind there. And then you draft a receiver after he got hurt running for his life. Just wasn't a good pick. This wasn't a good pick for Cincinnati. I know it's about bucks and everything, but making money. But I didn't like the pick. Now, I'm an offensive guy, but you gotta protect your guy. Because Joe Burrow gets hurt again, another gruesome injury like that, you kind of thinking, is he injury prone? If anybody don't know, I'm from St. Louis, and I got to see Mark Bolger. You don't want Joe Burrow to end up like Mark. We move on to pick 10 for the Eagles. On to pick 10, and I got Jalen Hurts. Now the head coach said it's going to be a competition to see who starts and who doesn't start, but I fully expect Hurts to win that job. So they move up and get Devonta Smith. Now, don't have to say too much. Devonta Smith is a stud, Heisman Trophy winner. I don't have to say too much. He's a stud, but you got to use him correctly. He's not an outside receiver. You got to put him more than one spot to be successful. He has a good head on his shoulder. He's an Alabama guy. so you know he's technically sound, and that's a really, really good pick for him. I can see he'll probably lead all rookies in snaps, offensive snaps, and he'll probably lead all rookies in all-purpose yards. So I'm looking for a big season for him and possibly Rookie of the Year. So the major thing that happened, and something that I did not see, and as you can see by the thumbnail, the Bears trade up to take Justin Fields at the 11th pick, jumping right in front of New England at the last minute to take our guy Justin Fields. We've been covering Justin Fields for the last 2 years, and I've been looking forward to him coming in the league. I didn't know where he was going to go. I thought he was going to go to the 49ers. Then I thought he might drop to New England, which he would have dropped to New England if it wasn't for the Bears trading up and snatching him from New England. I like Matt Nagy. You saw what Matt Nagy could do with Mitch Trubisky. Now, I know there's a 40-year curse about Ohio State quarterbacks. I know our last Ohio State quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, didn't turn out too well, but just like a dude who cheats all the time, he talks and says his girlfriend, this time is different. Justin Fields is a baller. I see a lot of Russell Wilson in him. Some of Cam Newton's negative traits, like sometimes he just spaces out and throws a bad pass, or he might take a bad sack, but all that can be worked on in the offseason, especially if you put him around good coaches. And my uncle said something tonight that made a lot of sense. The Bears have a really good defense. So they get a running game there. Justin Fields can learn and develop. And who knows, Justin Fields might not start the beginning of the season. Honestly, I don't want him to start at the beginning of the season. I want him to learn and get comfortable. And then when Andy Dalton inevitably plays awful, then I want him to come in. So the same way I see about Trey Lance, I don't want him to start like right out the box. 3 things are certain: death, taxes, and the fact Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get hurt. So whenever Jimmy Garoppolo decides to get hurt, then that's when Trey Lance will come in and take that spot. And Justin Fields won't get in the game because of an injury-prone player. He'll get in because Andy Dalton is bad. So, no shot to Andy Dalton, but he's just not what he used to be. And so, another thing that just made everybody in the sports world upset, Mac Jones went to New England. Now, I might do a whole video about this. The next 3-4 picks, I might do a whole video about them. Before I go to that, the Bears didn't even trade much to get Justin Fields. They traded the 20th pick this year and the first round pick next year to move up to get Justin Fields. So that's incredible value for what you're getting. You're getting a number 1 overall pick for not very much value. So that is great for the Bears. I really cannot wait to see the Bears play this year. So back to Mac Jones. I might do a whole video on this. Let me know if y'all want me to do a whole video on this. But Mac Jones he dropped into the perfect spot. That's why I wanted Fields to go there. He dropped to New England. And now there's a thing y'all heard this here first. What's going to happen in New England is Cam is going to be made out to be much worse than he is. Already what he did, he was already made to be worse than he was this year, considering what he had around him. So they're going to try their hardest to make sure Mac Jones starts. If Cam Newton gets hurt or Cam Newton's poor play, Mac Jones is going to start, and that might be the end of Cam Newton's career. As much as I love Cam, my all-time favorite quarterback. But if Cam's not on his P's and Q's this year, he could easily get benched. Because they took him number 15 overall. Y'all already know how the Boston media is. Y'all already know how Boston fans are. I ain't even got to go too much into that. So, Cam is going to have to play lights out. Y'all already know how this goes as a black man. He's going to have to play lights out. I might do a whole video on that explaining this. And I'm sure I'm going to do a whole video on this, but I'm going to talk about this now. So the Ravens had the 27th pick and the 32nd pick. So with the 32nd pick, they took Jason Awayu. I'll put his name up. With the 32nd pick. Linebacker. Not too familiar with him. But it's the Ravens. That they did say this guy didn't register a sack all last year, which is kind of weird. But if he can be a stopgap guy, And I mean that in the most gracious way. If he can be a stopgap guy, play on the Ravens defense, be one of those tough Ravens guys. The Ravens always finding diamonds in the rough. You know how Ozzie Newsome do. He'd be good. I can see him coming to the Ravens organization and being serviceable. He might not be a Pro Bowler or a Hall of Famer or nothing, but he can be serviceable. And, at the 32nd pick, you want good value for y'all know how the talent level drops off after you get to the first 10 picks or something. But the pick that we really need to talk about is Rashard Bateman. Now, Rashard Bateman out of Minnesota, they said he runs a 4.3. Now, the broadcast said he's 6 feet, but the ESPN.com said he's 6'2". So whichever one, I'm going to go with them and say 6'2". From the highlights that were showing, big body receiver can go get it. I would like him to be, built more muscly, but you could change that. Had 147 receptions, 2,395 yards, and 19 touchdowns in college. And that's really all I got for him. I don't really know too much about him yet, but big body receiver. Everybody has been saying that the Ravens are not going to be able to lure these receivers in. The Ravens were not able to get anybody but an injury-prone Sammy Watkins. So they was able to get an injury-prone Sammy Watkins. They still have Hollywood. They didn't make up for the offensive lineman they lost, and I'm not sure what they're going to do. They need to start hitting more. I fully expect them, if they have another pick tomorrow, to draft offensive linemen and more receivers. So we'll see. And so that's my initial reaction for the draft. These are my initial reactions right after it's like 11:15, like right after the draft. So I'm sure I'll have more in-depth stuff. We still have one more quarterback coming off the board for us, and Kellen Mond. I didn't get a chance to do a video with him because I was dealing with family stuff. But yeah, we're back. At least 2-3 videos a week. I'm glad that I'm back. The schedule comes out at some point next week. I'm gonna be covering that just like I did last year, and we're gonna get it going. We got an extra game this year. Let's have some fun this year, y'all.
Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I imagine these last 3 months have been exhausting for you in a lot of ways. I'm sure you probably haven't been through a process that has been so micro-analyzed in terms of picking apart your skill set, your strengths, your weaknesses. I'm curious, what of the criticisms over the last 3 months sort of impacted you the most, and how you kind of dealt with that over the last 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a lot of criticism, but me, at the end of the day, I feel like I know, myself. I know how much work I put in the game. I know how much I love the game. I know how much I want to be great. So it just comes a point in time where you just have to cut, all that criticism out. And of course, it's good to listen to the criticism you get from, people that are, actually there to help you. So if it was from a coach or anything like that, of course, I'm going to take that criticism. But I feel like, of course, there's a lot of, criticism coming from outside voices that didn't really matter. So I just, did my best to kind of cut all that out and really just get to work. So